guys, croissant on. So I just recorded 10 minutes of my life will never get back because I went on a rant and I'm like from A to B to Z because I can't keep my thoughts straight. So anywho, there's nothing much going on in my life, but I know I hadn't put out a video in a while, so I thought I would, while I was sitting here thinking about how I hadn't put out a video in a while, I would put out a video and explain why I hadn't put out a video in a while. One, there's nothing going on. I came back from Texas with like sadness because I didn't want to leave. It's a long ass drive, and I really think that I will probably fly because Tequila was like, you could have had 28 extra, like she mapped out the hours I could have saved by flying. Could have had 28 extra hours. 28 extra hours. Yes, I know. But anywho, sometimes you just gotta drive. I'm scared to death of flying. Not as scared as other things, but decently scared. And you know, it was a nice, I took my son, my youngest son. The older one wanted to go but couldn't because he had to work. So, and Alex had put in his time off request, whatnot, in time to get the time off. So he got to go, and he had a blast. Tequila's kids pretty much kidnapped him, and he had a jolly old time, which was bittersweet because I took him to kind of like, I don't know, you know how you have expectations for a certain thing, and then it goes a different way, you just kind of have to deal with it, but you know in your heart of hearts that it worked out the way it was supposed to, so that was good. He made some good friends there. So, which is odd because he's just as antisocial as I am. Like, we can be social on social media, but like sharing space social, it gets a little hard. And you know, I think me and Noah touched on that in our video. You know, I had times where I would have to just get up and leave. You know, not for anything specific, I just needed quiet or room. Makes me sound like such an asshole, but people that go through what I go through will understand, and my friends understand. So I don't worry as much as I used to worry really hard about the acceptance of people in our peer group, because you know, we can socialize. I can socialize all day online, but when it comes to sharing space with people, like literal space, air, you know, room, it's very hard for me. Like, and I don't I don't even socialize that much with them online. Like, we talk, but I don't know. I'm trying to explain myself and I don't know how. It's hard for me to socialize because one, I'm extremely awkward, and two, like sometimes I don't have anything to say. I don't know what to say, and I struggle for words, and then I get even more awkward, and it's just strange. So I just kind of sit back and chill, and I wait for the opportune time that presents itself so I can like jump in and be like, hey, I'm still here. You know, but I haven't put anything out in a while, and I'm not really doing anything. Like, my life is not interesting. I'm working on chicken feet. I'm painting this. I made something else when I got home. I got it working, going over here. You know, there's nothing really super awesome in my life. But I figured, you know, while I'm sitting here thinking about doing a video, I could pick up the damn camera well, it's really my phone, and do a video. So, let's see. Went to Texas, came back to a shitstorm at my job. And that was, you know, it is what it is. When you work in retail and you're in management, you just know you're going to get your ass kicked. It is what it is. I mean, everything was technically fine. It was just a lot of catching up. So then, the holiday weekend, I had to work. I was off Friday to see one of my girls graduate from Grooming Academy, which I was super, duper, duper proud. She's going to be great. And then, so I was off, I did that, which is work related, but it was for a good cause. And then, I had to work Saturday and Sunday. Today is Sunday, by the way. I'm recording this on Sunday, which is today. So, came home, took a massive nap, had a strange dream about my stepdad, which made me text my mother. And, she said everything was well. But it's the second dream I've had in that fashion. First one I kind of just like was, it was very random, because I have never had dreams about him before. And so when this dream popped up almost exactly like the first one, I knew there's a problem. So she said everything is fine, but it bothered me to the point where I reached out, you know. So, anywho, this is basically just a chit-chat video. I'm not really doing anything awesome. I wish I was doing something awesome. That would be awesome. Let's see. Everybody is not healthy, but they're safe. Texas was awesome. I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to get my move on down there. I ordered the Bluebird Lenormand. It should be here Tuesday. I have two Lenormand decks, but I want this one because it's like the playing card style, and it's got the playing cards on the cards, and I just find that neat, and I want it. It was very expensive. It was like 20 bucks. Maybe that's normal. It just seemed expensive. Alright, so I've got black, and purple. And now I gotta do the outside. So I still have to do the video with Tequila, Lady Grave Dancer, for our season ender. I want to give a shout out to whatever lipstick this is. I've had it on since 7:20 this morning, and it ain't going strong, but it's still going. It was cherry red this morning. Now it's kind of like red. There's a lady I work with that just gets a kick out of me putting on makeup, and the more whorish, the funnier it is to her. I just like to shock her. It's not really a shock factor. She thinks it's funny, and I think she does it on purpose, but it's okay. She can play that game. So, and she's not malicious in any way. She's a very plain Jane, and I like playing in makeup. So, whatever. We call each other names. So, that's really about it. There's really not a lot going on. I tried to make that video, the one about my absence for a while, and it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, just because the subject matter is really freaking hard, and I kept crying, and just, it was ugly. Basically, I'm bipolar. There's a difference between 1 and 2. I am between 1 and 2. So, like, I don't have some of the traits that bipolar 1 has. I have a lot of the traits bipolar 2 have, which make it very difficult for me some days. I also suffer from anxiety disorder and PTSD. So, in a nutshell, I have issues. And some days are much harder than others, and it is okay. And my youngest son suffers from the same disorder. He has anxiety disorder, and he has bipolar. He does not have PTSD. But it makes some days really hard for both of us. He has his own fixes. We tried to go, get therapy and medication, because I was on medication for most of my youth for various things, because, they didn't have all the labels and breakdowns of what was wrong with people. It was, it was very generalized. So a lot of people didn't get the help they needed back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean mid to late 80s, 90s, 2000s. Because a lot has changed in the last 10 years in the way of treatment. And it went from heavy doses and copious amounts of alcohol, medications, and then now they're weaning off the heavy doses of medication into more natural remedies. And I am saying, you know, yes, marijuana, CBD oil, stuff like that, but also, you know, learning how the brain functions better under certain circumstances. Like for me, even though we have two similar disorders, what works for me won't work for him all the time. So his self remedies are different than mine, because we found that being on medication was not working, because we were little zombies or we were very aggressive. I was on one medication that made me, I didn't have impulse control. It took away impulse control. And as a bipolar person, you already struggle with impulse control. So when I was really starting to struggle and see things were not going the right way, I had to pull, and you should never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, ever, 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 cold turkey off anything. Now, we did that. It worked semi-fine for him. It did not work for me. It took me, literally, I'm not gonna lie, that hiatus I took was like 6 to 8 months. That's about as long as it took me to come back to normal up here, because things were not well. For a person that's already not well, things were really not well. I got very close to losing my job due to aggression. I got very close to ending my relationship due to aggression and financial. I was spending money, couldn't tell you where a lot of it went. It's in this house somewhere. It ain't in my bank account anymore, but it took quite a while. And then, of course, the depression hit, the major, worse than normal depression hit, because I had just yanked myself off medication that I had been on for months. So I go through, well, I guess I'm doing that video now anyway, or not. I go through manic depressive periods, and my manic is really bad. Like, I'll be up for days, I won't sleep, I don't eat very much, I don't accomplish anything. I feel like I do, and then when I come down off the manic period, and the slowdown hits me, I look around and get upset that I haven't done anything, or I feel like I've done all this stuff, and in the time it feels like I've done a lot, and then it's really, I've just destroyed my house for no reason. So that's what that is. And or I will hit hyper mode at 2 in the morning and feel like I'm 12 again and want to do cartwheels and handstands and shit, which is not normal. That was the last, before I started, because once I started coming back around, I thought I was going to be good, right? So I didn't worry about any medications or anything. And then several months ago, I went through a really bad manic period, and manic periods last anywhere from, for me, a couple hours to a couple of days. It really depends on what's going on up here. So that one lasted, that was a really small but intense burst of like a day, and it ended very badly. So at that point I had to reach out and do something for myself. So I have a mixture of things that I take every morning. And I guess this is coming up also because I woke up in a shit mood yesterday, and it's not that time of the month. It does get worse around that time of the month, but that's the beauty of medications and herbal remedies. So, and I say medications by way of herbal remedies. I am not on any prescription drugs of any kind. And by herbal remedy, I do not mean marijuana. I can't do that because of my job. It's very rare and far few between I do anything like that. I don't even really drink. You can ask everybody I was in Texas with. But I woke up in a really cranky ass mood for there was no reason for it. Like, I was not in a bad mood. I was just snappy. And I wasn't in a bad mood, but I was coming off as I was in a bad mood. It's really hard to explain. Sometimes you know you're in a bad mood and you already know what's going on in here, and you don't really want to convey that to anybody else because you feel like, you know, it's not their business, not their problem, not their need to know. So I internalize it. Well, yesterday was more like a mental bad day. Like, there was no reason there was nothing going on. I was not upset about anything. I was just bitch. And I got to work. They noticed it here, and I was kind of ignoring that. I got to work, and then other people around me were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you being so short? No pun intended, because I am short. But, you know, snappy short. And I was like, I'm not, you know? And that's pretty much my face. Like, I'm not. The fuck are you talking about? Not good, obviously. So, I went outside, took a smoke break, and I kind of I started thinking, I was like, ooh, I haven't taken my medicine in like a week. Because I take 2 St. John worts in the morning and 2 at night with a B12, an echinacea, and a golden seal. That's my little combo, and that's what works for me. And I hadn't done that in about a week. Yesterday would have been about a week. And I think it's because everybody was sick, so I was taking the golden seal, and I was taking my echinacea, but I had kind of dropped off with my B12 and my St. John's, and I guess the body finally realized it wasn't in my system. That's what I'm chalking it up to. I could be totally wrong. I don't know about whatever that is. It's like I know the word, but I can't get it out. Molecular dabbling. So, when I got home, popped 2 pills. And today I feel a little bit better because I ended up taking 4 because I didn't go to bed till, let's see, I got off, no, I took 2. I got off at 9, took those when I got home, and I took 2 more this morning when I got up. So, not too far, but back to back, and then I'll take another set tonight. And it starts to regulate me because my mood was much better today. I was still a little, but to where I could control it. Because, you know, sometimes you're just in a shit mood, and you just kind of like, you know, you just kind of smile through it because you know what's going on inside you, but you don't necessarily want anybody else to know. Because, 1, they're either not going to understand, or 2, they don't give a shit. So, what's the point? Just like this ramble I'm on about my crap up here. It doesn't matter, but it's my explanation. Like, I got way deep with the last video. It was like 25 minutes. Holy shit. And it was all about this and my absence, and then Alex, and then his stuff, and but anywho, this was a ramble, chit chat, catch up, life update, which I didn't really I'm not doing anything with my life. So anywho, I will see you guys later. This is a 20-minute video too, but whatever. See you guys later. Bye.